right. Boom. Chin, man.
Chin chin.
Sláinte.
My man.
Oi.
How are you, Theo?
All good.
Good to finally have you on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Awesome.
It's good to get you while you're traveling here and not in Sweden.
Yeah, I move so much.
I know.
Between Denmark and Sweden, basically.
Uh-huh.
That's about it.
When do you go back next?
In 3 weeks, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Next weekend I go to England.
Oh, yeah? What's over there?
Which is like, I never do. It's a convention a friend of mine organized.
Okay.
I've not done convention for a long time, and I've not seen that friend for like 10-ish years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, let's catch up, you know.
That's good.
So, and then I come back. I just go the weekend very quick.
Mm-hmm.
And the 10th of November, I go again.
Yeah. You're going back to finish up your bike, or is it all finished?
Yeah, no, it's kind of finished, but of course, it's finished. I had a ride, and of course, I found out, there's some stuff to fit better, or, you know, it doesn't work. So I have a little bit of work to do, maybe a week, which will turn out to be 2 weeks, probably.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm supposed to go to France, have a look if I can find a camper. I want to buy a camper.
Really?
Yeah. I'm still not sure, but I want to have a look. If I find a good deal, maybe I'll come back with a camper. I don't know. I show you the one like in US to sell secondhand, like a 20-something feet.
Yeah, that's...
I don't know, but
big.
it's long.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, super long, from the 80s. Very cheap.
With shag carpet.
And brown and orange, of course.
Uh-huh.
Which is, yeah, it looks very good.
I think you have to stay away from schools and playgrounds with that van.
Yeah.
That's a scary van. I could picture you like in the Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. You know?
Yeah, that would be the same kind of trip, but in a camper instead. I would love to do that. It would be fun.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So you're just looking at it. You're not.
Yeah, I'm looking. The thing is, I want to tour US a bit, but a little bit of tattooing maybe, I don't know, but at least to see the country. There's like, you know, some crazy landscapes. And it's a long thing. Like I want to just go there. Yeah. I was thinking you need a transportation anyway. I'm not doing it with Greyhound.
No.
I thought like, a motorbike or a car or something. Like, fuck, camper is the best deal. You have to invest a bit more money because I would like to buy it.
Right.
But at least you're totally autonomous, self-sufficient kind of, you know.
Right.
And I really like that idea. So I presume, it would be nice. And I was surprised with the price. It's a bit of an investment, of course, but it's not like crazy. And maybe sell it back when I go. Or the best would be to store it somewhere. Right. And then when I go back, I can use it again. Or if friends or you go back, you could use it.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? It would be nice.
Yeah, you just have to keep it running ever so often so it doesn't kill the motor. But
like even leave it to a friend in US who could use it as well. So I buy it and that friend use it. You know, I think it's a good deal.
Yeah. We were talking about the sort of timeshare. Like, I wonder if there's like a sort of timeshare
why not?
type of thing.
I like ideas like that with camper or whatever. You know, it's something, especially a camper, you'll buy it, you'll use it like 2 months a year. Fuck, let's other people enjoy it as well, you know?
Hell yeah.
Why not?
Rent it out. I'm sure there's like an Airbnb
for campers.
Section. Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to do that with no frame or money or what.
No.
If I buy a camper, let's say you go there, you take it. You know, if something breaks, well, I don't know. We'll find a way you fix it.
Well, but burn it and you'll get
rent
some
insurance
money from it.
Exactly. Good deal. Yeah, something like that. I wouldn't rent it with like a price or something.
Yeah, I like that too. I think the one I've been having my eye on is like super souped up. It's almost like traveling in a living room.
Yeah.
Have a bathroom, a full kitchen.
Oh yeah. You need a shower anyway.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to get stuck on the road and be like, just have to smell myself the whole time.
Yeah. But if you look for a more modern camper, I guess the budget is not the same. And, you know.
But they get up there. We saw one. It was a mixture between an Airstream and Mercedes, and it was like $80,000 or $90,000.
Oh, fuck, yeah. I'm looking like 4 or 5, you know. And the only
4,000 or 5,000.
Yeah. The only thing you get from that for that price is like 70s, 80s old brown campers. Right. But they look good. They're fun. And I don't know, but I've seen a lot of ads where like the guy says like, well, it runs perfect, and I've been using it, and of course there's the risk it breaks down, but it's part of the adventure as well, I guess.
Just bring a toolkit.
Yeah, and then you have to fix it. You meet local people, I presume, and I know it's an adventure.
Would you bring like a bike with you? Because I see a lot with the toes.
A motorbike?
Yeah.
Probably not. Because either I buy it there and then like, hey, you know, it's another budget again, or I bring my own and then you have to cross the Atlantic with it. That would be nice. I would love to tour US with my bike, but
right.
You know.
So you have to go through Russia, cross over in Alaska, and drive down.
Yeah, by land.
Because I'm pretty sure there's a ferry over there.
I don't know, in the Bering Strait?
The Bering Strait, I think.
Maybe.
I think there is, yeah.
Like an icebreaker.
Good luck driving in the winter.
Oh, fuck. And crossing Russia. Oh, fuck. Yeah. No, too much.
If you want a real adventure,
no.
go to Siberia.
I've met people who did that, like traveling, crossing like Middle East and Russia, going up to Mongolia with campers.
Right.
I wouldn't do that. I met a guy in France who did it himself, and then he came back and organized tours for people who want to go.
Wow.
And you pay him, and he just show you the way and help to pass the borders, because he knows he's done that trip a while, you know, and he knows where to pass, and he probably even knows how much to pay which guy at what place, you know. So you join him, pay him whatever, and go with your own camper at your own risk. Wow. And he leads you up to Mongolia, I think, and stops there. And then it's up to you. You go back the way you want, you know. You're on your own. He doesn't do the return, you know. Nah.
He's probably He's probably getting paid by someone in Mongolia to
someone else
shake you down.
Yeah. Who buys campers from Europe? You come back home naked with your underwear. That's it. That would be Russia. Mongolia is okay. That would be more Russia. Sorry for the Russians, you know.
Have you ever heard of the Trans-Siberian Express?
Yeah. I took the train, yeah.
You did it?
Yeah.
Really? How was that?
Because I went to Mongolia, so I came back by train.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Awesome.
Yeah.
I wanted to go by train, but someone told me if you go there, on the way, they know you just go, so you got money, you got new equipment and everything,
right.
And you don't know the street feeling or something.
Right.
So big chance you're going to be robbed. Do it on the way back. From someone who knows that kind of trip. I'm like, yep, sure, I trust you. So I took the train on the way back. And you pay the ticket much cheaper as well, because you pay it in Mongolia.
Right.
Or China. You can do from China as well. I went from Mongolia. It's much cheaper. And it's 4 days, 4 nights.
That's it?
To Moscow, yeah. And
I thought it was a lot
Moscow,
longer.
Berlin. Yeah. 4 days, 4 nights, yeah.
That's incredible.
From Ulaanbaatar. Like from Beijing must be a bit more.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy. And through Russia, the train stops like, it could be in the middle of the night anywhere, or middle of the day, anytime, you know. And it stops in small places for like, could be 10 minutes, could be 20, you know. And everybody, because the train I took was the Chinese train, so I took it from Mongolia, but it came from China. So Mongol people, they go to China, they buy shitloads of stuff for very cheap, and they go sell it in Russia. Because Russians have money,
right?
But they don't have shops or something, you know. So when the train stops, everybody on board goes out and go, I got shoes, or I got blankets, or I got whatever, electric blankets, kettles. They were selling kettles a lot, or shoes, clothes, whatever, you know. And the Russians rush.
Wow.
And buy the thing, they exchange money, they take the goods, and they have to climb on the train before it leaves.
Wow.
So it goes like super quick. The train starts going, and people are still selling shit, and right after the train, jump in, you know. Oh. It's at like 3 a.m. somewhere in Siberia.
Incredible.
Super funny.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
It must be like a different world. I can't even imagine.
A bit. Yeah. I'm happy I just crossed. I don't want to stay too long. And I think it's in Poland. When you enter Poland, I think, or when you exit Poland, the train track is not the same width.
So they have to switch it or something? Yeah.
They bring the train in a big warehouse, or warehouse, or like, you know, just roofs and walls, nothing in. And they put the full train on hooks. They unplug the wheels. They lift the full train. They move the wheels away. They put new wheels, put the train down, fix the wheels, and there you go.
My goodness. And everybody's still on the train while they're doing it?
Yeah. I went off because I wanted to see, but no one else did. Everybody stays on the train when they are lifted. And you got Polish people, changing the wheels and blah, blah, you know, and there you go.
Wow. And meanwhile, they probably only have like one track going both directions. They have to take turns.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I like long train rides. They're fun.
Yeah, we were thinking about doing some more train voyages around here, just because going up and down in the plane is kind of It's boring at this point where it takes like an hour plane, but then it takes you 2 hours to
to go to the airport, wait for the plane, check in. If I can avoid flying, I do.
Yeah. You get more done. You could read a book or like draw uninterrupted. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, and see what's going on. In that train, like you go to the restaurant, the Trans-Siberian, that's where everybody meets or something. And there was Russian, Chinese, Mongolian people playing chess and being a bit like not national about it, but if the Russian lose, Mongol as well, were pride a bit. And food and drinks, it's fun.
That's so funny.
And all trains, like, windows and doors open so you can go between cars and stick your head out your outside. It's not like locked or what, like security is different.
Wow.
Yeah, really nice. Really fun trip.
I think I'd like to do something like that.
Yeah.
Have you been to India at all?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Whoa. How was that?
Yeah, fucking awesome. A really good trip as well. Like I stayed a good while. I went with a girlfriend at the time. So we bought a bike there in Enfield. Started half of the trip by train and bus and whatever. And then in Pondicherry, because they have no tax there. So it's a little bit cheaper. So went to Pondicherry, bought the bike, and go all the way up north to Himalayas.
Wow.
And Rajasthan, sell the bike, finish by train and go. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, good trip. Really fun. Bit stressful.
All the people?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
All the time. It's crazy. Ridiculous. Because even on the way crossing from south to north, we didn't do the east part. Calcutta and everything. But crossing in the middle is really wild. It's desert. And it's really wild. And even there, you think you're alone. And in 10 minutes, like there's 20 kids looking at you. And you try to talk with them and they're too shy. So when you talk, they go.
Yeah.
And then they come back.
They just want to look at you.
Yeah. What the fuck?
You look so strange.
A little bit stressful, Fun at first, but... And you know me a bit. I like my quiet time, Fucking no way.
Yeah.
No way.
You need to lock yourself in a room for a couple hours.
And even if I tried that as well, and we had trouble, people coming, knocking at the door, going, hey, you owe us money, because like I was tricked or someone by some gangsters. I don't know. But one of those days we were like, enough, stay in the bedroom, That's the day someone knocks and goes like, hey, I'll help you, because we went to fill petrol. I remember now. I had a hard time starting the bike again because that bike was trouble, man. And someone comes in and goes, blah, blah, blah. He nearly takes the bike from me. I'm like, hey, what the fuck? And boom, it starts it. The bike starts. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. Like whatever. And he goes away. And he found us later, knock at the door and goes, hey, I'll help you with your bike. You owe me money.
Oh,
fuck you, man. I didn't ask you anything, And it started to go, and he was with like 3-4 friends. Oh, I started to go like, fuck, I didn't expect that in India at all.
No, not at all.
Like, fuck. And then the owner of the hotel comes and goes, hey, what's going on? And told the kids to fuck off. And they did.
Oh, wow.
So fair enough. I was like, hey, what's going on? I just tried like a bad trick. Yeah, I thought so. But
that's incredible.
But that was the only bad. Yeah, that was one of the 2 only bad things in India. The rest was a lot of people, a bit stressful, but very nice. Yeah. Super nice people. I really enjoyed India. Really cool.
I'd love to check it out. Just because from what I hear and from what I researched, there's nothing like it. There's the culture and just the sights that you see on just one walk.
It's another world. Like, fuck, it's a slap.
Yeah.
So I expected more actually, because a lot of people told me like you love it or you hate it, and anyway it's like it smashes you. And I didn't have that too much, but maybe because I expected.
Yeah, but also you've probably seen a lot to begin with.
Yeah,
wouldn't be
maybe
much of a shock.
Protected myself, I don't. But my girlfriend was a bit more like it was heavier on her.
Wow.
But I don't know. I was fine.
I think I would probably struggle with people like come here or trying to show me stuff and be like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, harassing or I don't remember too much of that.
That's good.
Even like busking or asking, I don't remember that at all actually.
Yeah, I just can picture going into one of those like market areas.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to get from point A to point B, and people are like dragging you to their cart. You're like, no, I don't need to buy anything. I don't need a hat. I don't need food.
It could be a bit, but I don't remember that too much. Maybe more in Asia or something, but people trying to sell me shit.
Yeah.
I don't remember being shocked by that. It happened a little bit, but not like, oh, hey, give me a break,
Right. I remember in Boston, this couple came through and they were traveling all over. I think they started possibly in Russia, and then they were just going all over. They went to India, they went to Tibet, I think they went down to Australia. But when we met them, they had made their way into the States, and they were on a 3-year road trip.
Oh, nice.
And I think they were halfway through it by that point. It was kind of wild. It was just a girl and a guy, no real baggage. They just had a tent and just one bag.
And a T-shirt.
Yeah, and they had a dog
nice.
with
That's
them
the best
too.
way to travel. A dog?
Yeah.
Fuck.
If you saw them on the street, you would just think they're just regular old people, maybe kind of a little hippie-ish. They came and got one of the girls got tattooed. What they were doing was just knocking on people's doors and saying, "Hey, do you mind if we pitch up a tent in your front yard?"
In your garden?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
1 or 2 people would say yes.
Yeah.
So that's what they would do. They wouldn't go and like pay for a hotel anywhere.
Yeah.
They would just tent it everywhere.
Yeah. Cool.
That's
good
crazy.
trick.
But in the city though too, that'd be tricky.
Yeah. But they managed.
Yeah.
It worked out.
Yeah, they're already a year and a half through the trip.
In their trip,
So what they were doing was working. So
yeah, maybe in like funny countries, I would imagine, but in the middle of Boston, asking to camp in a garden, I wouldn't dare. But fair enough, it works. That's awesome. It gives a bit of hope in human nature.
But I think also they would just go and tell their story about doing this trip, and then people would get hooked on like all the different places they've been, and then they would then say, "Oh, we need a place to stay. Can we sleep on your front lawn?
Do you know anywhere?"
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's how they kind of managed it.
Fair enough. Yeah, cool.
That'd be a crazy adventure, I think. A little too much out of my element. I think I would need a little bit more security and protection.
And you need good trust in humans.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have.
I don't. So, I'd rather buy a camper. I would have done that when I was 20. And now, I don't know if it's aging or something, but now I'm like, fuck that. I want my own camper.
Right.
I wouldn't even renting. You told me renting would be better.
Yeah, if you're going to be there for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks, but I'm planning longer. And just decided to have my own, even if it's old, I'd rather deal with the danger that it breaks down.
Right.
But have my own fucking thing
to deal with
than like going, oh, I cannot do this. I'm going to scratch the paint if I do this. And, no, I want to give it back if you rent it or whatever. Fuck. I'd rather buy it.
It's easier just to burn it.
Yeah, I'd rather buy one and burn it if I'm stuck than feeling always like, constrained.
Yeah.
Like, because, no, if I break it or something, I'm like, no, fuck that. It's my own van. Whatever happens, it's my own problem. You know, I'd rather do that. We'll see.
Would you work as well, you think? Or just travel?
I wouldn't mind. And then the trip would be much longer.
Yeah.
Because I've not done it for a long time. I'm like, traveling with tattoo gear and shit.
Yeah.
Outside Europe, or like fucking visa and shit. So if I could, I definitely would.
Right.
Just to help the trip and meet a couple of friends, but I wouldn't make it a tattoo tour.
No.
That would be another trip. But there's one trip I want to do. It's just like natural parks in US and canyons and, like Death Valley and shit like that.
Yeah.
All the stuff I saw in comic books when I was younger, like the Western comic books and shit. I have to see that.
Yeah. You know what the best thing to do would be Greyhound around the US.
Yeah, I did a bit, but no.
That's me being sarcastic.
No. Yeah. I bet when I answered, I'm like, oh, wait. But I heard about, because I went to Seattle and I stayed in the Green Tortoise.
The Green Tortoise. Yeah.
And there's one in San Francisco as well, where I stayed as well. And they do tour bus. They do bus tour, sorry.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think, is it just the same people in those buses? I don't remember. So if you get on the Green Tortoise, do they have people coming on and off as your, like a regular Greyhound would be?
Maybe not, because they do like 4 or 5 different lines from A to B or C to D or whatever. And I think when you go the full from A to B. You probably can live in the middle. Right. But I think you pay and you go for the full.
And those, I believe, have actual beds in them.
Yeah. But it's like beds you put by night. And I think most of them are like old school bus or something. And for what I remember, you're so many in it that it's pretty tight.
Right.
But it's like the thing you fold down and you can sleep, and in the day you put it up.
Yeah, there's some creatures in those buses.
Yeah, and like the people who go for it could be fun though, but it's even though it's a bit like hippie, cool, whatever, it's too much organized. I was tempted to go for it, and fuck no.
When I was 15, I did a cross-country trip alone.
Yeah.
On a Greyhound bus.
Yeah, cool.
I started off in Boston and ended up in Crested Butte, Colorado. I had a cousin living out there, and it was pretty wild. It was over 3 days.
Yeah.
Traveling in a bus. Yeah. Luckily, I was young and didn't know any
care
better.
So much. Yeah,
I would never do it now.
No,
I would definitely like murder somebody. I think.
And your legs are too long.
Yes. And I was the same height around then.
Already
too.
at shit.
I was tall as a young
Yeah, but
kid.
you can fold yourself at 15.
Yeah. But it was funny. I remember like halfway through the country, we stopped at one place and they let people that were in jail out. And so we had a couple ex-cons.
Oh, just leaving jail to go home or something?
Yeah. One of the guys was like, I was still sketching and drawing back then. And he was like looking, he's like, oh, that's pretty cool, man. You know what? We're going to have a big party at my house. You're invited, you know?
Awesome.
He's like, the next stop, you'll come with us and you can spend a couple nights with us. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm pretty sure.
It depends how the feeling you had with the guy.
Yeah.
It could be a nice
Well, he still had his like government issue clothes that they give you when you leave prison.
They don't give you, like in movies, they don't give you back the clothes you had at the time.
Not that bad. There was a few guys and they had brown type uniforms on. It wasn't like the bright orange ones.
The bright orange,
But him and a couple guys got on the
and written on the back, I've just been released from I survived the penitentiary. Nice.
But it was wild. And then I had this one crazy guy, super American. And he was one of those kind of doomsday prepper guys, like all about...
Oh, yeah, preppers, yeah.
You got to prepare for this. You got to protect yourself. He was telling me he had a gun underneath the bus.
Yeah.
I got a knife in my pocket, so if anybody messes with us, I got your back. I'm like, man, what the hell? So I just had the most extreme people encountered me in
a simple Greyhound bus. See, you can have adventure in a Greyhound.
But that stuff's fun. You can never get those experiences in a camper. That's all. That's why I bring it up. Like you don't have the real
fair
American
enough. So if I want to meet like crazy people, I should take the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, the camper sounds a good idea.
Yeah, and it's more exciting because these are the crazy people that haven't quite made it to the institutions.
Yeah, they're just out there. Yeah, I don't know, like as I kind of mentioned before, like it makes me think it's the kind of story I wouldn't have cared to go, and I would have looked for it like 20 years ago. Now I'm like, just being on the road, traveling, seeing landscapes and stuff is enough. And in the evening, have a beer in the local pub. I'm sure you'll meet as well, like crazy people. So I don't worry about meeting crazy people. I find them if I need.
They come.
I don't have to be hitchhiking to meet them. It's fine. I hitchhiked a lot when I was a kid, but with my father, I was 9 years old, not on my own. But we went from France to Sweden hitchhiking like that. And most of holidays, because like we have no money. Yeah. We traveled like a lot in like mid to North Europe, hitchhiking a lot, like, and it was fine. But it's Europe. Yeah. And because we knew about it, I don't know, we got used to it. It doesn't seem too dangerous. US, because we don't know, is something else.
Yeah. Yeah. So how did you wind up here?
Yeah, for the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. How I met Henning in Stockholm convention, because. How did that started? I was talking with my father about buying a house in Sweden. And actually, he was talking about Sweden. We were supposed to buy a house in France. You know what? What about Sweden? I'm like, yeah, why not? Because I'm looking to work anyway. I was leaving France and looking for a job, and I thought I could work in Stockholm. So I went to look a bit, met some people and everything. And kind of the same time, we decided to buy a house there, my father and myself. So which come first? I don't know. But the house came later. Then I was doing the Stockholm convention for a few years in a row, not working. But that was a really good mood, I think, in that convention. So I came back, and then I did a guest spot. I did 2 guest spots in Seattle at Slave to the Needle.
Aaron Bell's.
Yeah. And we clicked on pretty good. And I presume, because I never talk about that with Henning, but I presume Henning asked around, like, you know, from everybody he knows, including Aaron. That Aaron told him, "Oh, what about the French guy, Theo? Yeah, I know this French guy. He likes to travel. You know, you could always ask him." And then Henning saw me. A year before, Henning and Aaron was doing Stockholm. Aaron introduced me to Henning and to show my back piece or something. And Henning was like, "Oh, yeah, whatever." And a year after, that's it. The year after, Henning is looking for a guy or some guys to work in his shop, and he see me and he goes, "Hey, you're Theo, right? The French guy, you know Aaron?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Okay, show me your book tomorrow," because I remember now. I think that was in the Thursday party before the convention or the Friday, because Stockholm is 3 days or 2. So the day before there was a party. I was super drunk. Henning tapped on my shoulder, and I turned around. Oh shit, it's Henning. And he goes, "Oh, you're Theo, that French guy, all right? Okay, tomorrow come to my booth and show me your book." I'm like, "Oh fuck, what's going on, you know?" And then I go to the booth. I see Artist Wanted. I'm like, "Oh shit, is it, you know, maybe?" And I show me a book, and then blah blah, you know. Yeah, so that's how I ended up in Helsingør. I came here for 2 weeks, guest spot, and fuck, I loved it straight. So.
Wow. And how long ago was that?
2007, I think. By 11 years ago. Yeah,
so you must be the oldest
in the shop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because everybody left. Lobidio has been here for a long time as well, but he came a few years after me.
10 years, 8 to 10 years.
10 years is a long time. Like, I didn't think I would stay that long, but I enjoy it, so I stay, you know.
Yeah, I think the longest I'd been at any one shop was probably like 8 years.
Yeah, and that's pretty long, I think, in the business, right? A lot of tattooers move after a few years, you know.
But it must be cool to kind of have a lot of different artists come and go, and especially with all the different guests that come and go.
Oh, the amount of guests in that shop, I really enjoy it. Yeah. So many people.
It's funny, you could probably get a bodysuit just by guests.
Just by guest people.
You never leave the comfort of your home.
Yes.
Continue to get tattooed by A-list artists.
Yeah. No, it's nice. It does a good life in that shop. I'm happy here. So
yeah. And
it's 2 years now I work half-time, as you know.
Do you miss working?
When I don't work?
Yeah.
If I miss it, or?
Yeah, because for me, like, I always fear, like, if I were to take too much time off, then people would, you know, they would forget about me or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Have you noticed anything like that at all, or
not regarding the customer base or what? Because I don't care so much about it, I guess. And the people I tattoo, like, they come back usually because the shop is always there. So even if I'm gone, they know they may contact the shop and Theo is gone. Like, but they wait a bit or they don't. I don't know. Right. But some of them wait, so I know I see them coming back. The main thing is me not tattooing for 6 weeks. I'm like, oh shit, like I miss it after 3-4 weeks. I'm like, fuck. And I can feel in my wrist there, you know. A bit less lately because maybe I use those like slow, silent rotaries. But when I use coils, I could feel the vibration missing in my wrist, going, oh shit, I need to. The 2 years I've been half-time now, I didn't tattoo when I was off, except a bit here and there in France. When I came back to France, I did a week maybe in the place I used to work. Right. And in Sweden, I tattoo my neighbor once in a while for fun. But, it's compensated by the fun I have, like having such a long time of break doing whatever I want. You know, I really like that. So because when I'm here, I tattoo. That's all I do. Right. You know, I paint a little bit or I draw a bit, but I just tattoo. That's it. So. Right.
Yeah, when I was kind of taking more time off to paint, when I was living in Italy, it was kind of crazy coming back to tattooing because like you're sitting down and everything feels strange. Like you said, like the weight of the machine. Yeah. You're just out of.
Am I able to do it again?
Yeah.
You know, like
But as soon as you get going, it all comes back.
Yeah, the first line and.
But it is very strange feeling when you're not tattooing.
But I like that as well. Like I like to have that little time where I miss it, and the little stress when you go back at it, and even like the first line, you know, the first centimeter is like, oh yeah, it's working. I remember, and then you have that fun again to, you know, and you dive in or something, and you kind of block around, and whew, I'm drawing on someone's skin. It's awesome, you know? Right. So I like that as well because you miss it. Then when you do it again, it's like even more exciting, you know.
it could be a way. I don't know. I would have to experiment with it, but it could be a way to get rid of bad habits.
Yeah.
So if you don't tattoo for a period of time and then go back at it with a different mindset, like you may forget how you tattooed something.
The bad things you did before. Yeah. Because you kind of start from scratch, so maybe you reorient yourself.
You come back at a different mindset, a different look at it.
Could be graphically, maybe. Technically, I don't know, because when I do that and come back and start again, you know, really quick, it's like a habit, like lacing your shoes.
Yeah.
Like, so you do I do exactly the same thing. Like, you know, open the drawer, I know the razor is there. I don't even look. I'm like, hey, razor is there. Well, and it's so automatic, you know?
Yeah, that's a good feeling.
Or maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe I should question every time I come back. But I actually rely on that habit, going like, oh yeah, I know how thing works, especially here, because it's the same station I work on, which I need that. You know? So I got my setup stuff. I know exactly where is what, and it's reassuring a bit, you know?
Right. And I wanted to talk about some of the, like you were saying, the paintings. Like, what type of work do you enjoy doing for paintings?
As painting things, yeah. Specifically, not graphically, right? Graphically is the graphism I like. And that's another question, I guess. But the medium? Or?
No, like graphically, yeah.
Graphically.
Yeah, like...
funny, colorful, bright, jumping, I don't know. Some people would call new school, I presume, if you look at it from the tattoo world. But regarding painting stuff, what I do is not tattooable, I guess. But, I used to paint on cardboard. Yeah. Because I wouldn't bother about the fabric or canvas. You know? And when I started painting anyway, the markers or the different paint, I didn't care. I took acrylic and started to paint on wood or cardboard or whatever. Right? And it was at the time as well when like skateboards were really popular to paint. So it took me a while, because at first I didn't want to do it because I'm not a skater anyway. And it was so trendy. I'm like, fuck that shit. But then I started painting one, and it's super fun. You can have it on your laps and do like whatever else beside it, you know. And with acrylic, because I really like acrylic, it's so easy to handle, you know. And do a bit, watch something, read some shit, keep doing a bit, you know. So wood I really like, cardboard because I don't give a shit. Now it's more like markers. Now I'm with the iPad now, so mostly, you know, with that pen.
It's so easy to work on.
But I tried crayons. I didn't try oil. That to me is like, I like acrylic because it dries quick. You can wash with water because the smell of turpentine. Or whatever,
it can kill you.
Right, acrylic, super nice for me. Super really handy. But I tried crayons and markers, and so I really like markers actually for what I do. I think it's pretty okay. Like if you do flash. Yeah. Like I like to do with markers. It's bright, it's there, and it may not be like super artistic, but it's a tattoo flash. I don't do it for the painting side of it. If I do a painting for the painting, I do watercolor and artist paper. Yeah. But I have to say it's probably not the medium I prefer best. But yeah.
I like to draw with markers a lot of the time. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't done any like actual finished drawing. I have some of those really cool rechargeable markers where you
alcohol markers.
Those are fun to play with. Yeah. But then I was like, oh no, another medium to kind of work with. Yeah. And so lately I've been trying to like constrain things and just keep it like tattooing, drawing,
and one medium for paint or for art beside that.
Yeah. So far it's just oil and watercolor and that's it. I don't want to introduce any more things.
Yeah, enough. Fair enough. That's why I think I go for markers, because with what I do, like I think the bright colors is one thing I need, and the technical aspect I don't think it's so important. I don't know. It's more like, you know, bande dessinée, comic style or what. So markers, I think I was really stuck with markers, and when I started, I'm like, that's my thing. That's it. Right. Like crayons, forget it. I like crayons because you control better, but it's not like, you know, it's not that good. Right. And acrylic is fun, but acrylic every time. Like, and markers, it's dry, it's not messy. I got my bag of like how many markers. I really liked it. Really good thing. I've stopped a bit doing it now, but I think markers will be the thing I will go back straight if I do another painting or and acrylic.
Yeah, you did the Matryoshka project
acrylic
stuff. That was acrylic. Yeah, that was so cool.
Acrylic on wood. Yeah, that reminded me where I like doing like cardboard or skateboard or whatever. The trick was the 3D. Like
that was tough.
Hit my head a few times, to find the right thing and how to do it. But yeah, acrylic. Yeah.
When I did mine, I did it with the liquid acrylic. And I don't know if I would do that again. It was so difficult to work with.
Yeah, because it travels through the vein of the wood, no?
Well, it would, but I did seal it. There was like a
pre-coats.
So I did that, but I think I may have put too much on, so it was beading up on the surface. Beading, so like bubbles. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
And so I had to like put on a little bit at a time, work it in, let it dry, and it was too much work.
It took forever.
Yeah, and it was too transparent as well, so you could kind of see some of the underdrawing.
True.
Yeah. But that being said, it was still kind of a cool texture that was left. Yeah. But I think maybe I would have done it in acrylic as well, just to get a little bit more opaque. And so I was in between thinking about doing the liquid acrylic or the oil painting. Yeah. But I figured if I did it in oil, I might not be able to finish on deadline. Because of the drying time? Yeah. And just because it's not one of those things that I do every day anymore. So I'd be relearning again. Yeah, it will take you too long. Yeah. But with liquid acrylic, I don't know if I would have dared to do liquid acrylic. Like I would have tried crayons before that. Yeah. Well, I was like reading up, and there was this kind of surface that you paint on it, like a watercolor thing, and it said you could paint on wood. And I was like, okay, we'll give it a shot. Yeah. But yours was one of my favorite matryoshka. Yes. Yeah. Thanks. Just the whole idea, like the fisherman and what's on the fisherman's mind. His brain, But because that was the 3D thing, and I'm like, shit, how to wrap a design properly, like, and the idea of like one into another, and I'm like, shit, what kind of, Yeah. It has to be like you're peeling it or something. Yeah. The onion of a man. Yeah. And what other type of influences are you drawn to? We kind of talk about this often, but art-wise, like, I mean, regarding, like, in the late years, I guess, lowbrow, kind of like Robert Williams, of course, rocking Jelly Bean from Japan. Oh yeah, awesome. Really like him. A lot of comic books, I mean, bande dessinée, like the European comic books. But since I grew up with that, I'm sure that influenced me a lot, because I like to put maybe too much little details in a tattoo. Not a lot, but you have the main thing, and have a little thing in the corner or something else, And I realized not long ago, but way after I started tattooing, that I had that tendency, and I connected with two of the major guys that I loved when I was a kid, which is Gottlieb, French guy, and Franck Margerin, French guy as well. And both of them were always doing a little thing. You got the main story with the box and the bubbles and shit. Yeah. But in the background, there's always like not another story going on, but nearly. Like and I'm sure that influenced me. Little hidden things. Yeah. Like even a rat looking at you and smiling out of nowhere or whatever. Yeah, that's super cool. And artistically, but I wouldn't connect. People like Muka or Musha, or we say Musha, or Norman Rockwell, I like, or Boris Vallejo, Hajime Sorayama, the airbrush Japanese guy as well, the robots girl. The cyborg type things. I don't connect that with the tattoo in the way it doesn't influence me in the way that's not what I tattoo. The art I like, I don't really apply to the tattoo thing. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way with the classical stuff. Yeah, I almost compartmentalize that part of me where it's like, the old paintings from Renaissance to Baroque. That none of that really seeps into tattoo. Yeah, you could take tricks, as you say, color combination, or where the light is and the strong shadows and stuff. Yeah, I guess I'm able to kind of reference, find from those areas, and maybe insert some of those things, but nothing for my color work. Maybe more for black and gray type of stuff, because people are getting angels or whatever. There's plenty of that. Oh yeah, for the lights and big time. Yeah. But even like those really nice girl heads from the 19th century paintings, there's so many beautiful portraits of girls. nice to translate into.
I think you could apply some directly, but I don't know if it's just me, but
yeah, I feel like I'm getting shown too much on a daily basis where I'm not able to digest
it.
Yeah.
You with media and everything, or
yeah. Actually, recently they started showing these like how the usage on the phone.
Oh yeah.
So I started looking at that, and
how many hours you spend per day watching it?
Yeah, and so it was like a week ago I started looking at it, and now I'm down to like a half an hour on the phone. You're
down to half an hour?
Yeah, I think.
But you started at what?
It was like 2 hours. Yeah.
2 hours. Yeah.
On the phone, but that was like a mixture of everything.
Yeah.
But I was like 2 hours a long time.
Yeah.
And not all of it was social media. It was like internet or like talking on the phone. Like they just put it all into one.
Yeah.
But it was still kind of shook me. Like that's a lot of time to be on a phone.
Yeah, restricted a bit. Like, and I guess if you take a lot out of it, it's not time wasted.
Yeah.
But I presume you see so much. Yeah, you just take 10% out of it.
Yeah, there's not
so
enough.
many tattoos. I guess we're talking. You know, like you see so many good tattoos going on. You go down you scroll down the feed line or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you could stay 3 hours and see like amazing things, and I'm sure you retain just 10% of it, or 15 or 5, whatever. Too much information.
Too much. Man. And for me, like late at night when I'm tired. I get into this like zombie mode and I'll just scroll and not even know what the hell I'm looking at.
And just click, I like. It's a friend, I like. Yeah, too much.
But I remember before all of that, I have a huge book collection and all of it's in storage in the States, unfortunately now. But I remember just digesting books, and I would just constantly look at one book over and over and over again, and to the point where I could tell you more or less where certain images are in the book.
Page 27.
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of miss that. I want to get back to that because I think I was maybe really taking in more then too, because you're able to kind of really study.
You can stare at the same piece for hours and go, Yeah,
you're not like urged to kind of like move on to the next one.
Next post. It's horrible. We went from probably even like you had books before, but there was even a time where you were dying to have reference. It was hard to find.
I know,
not from the art, but from the tattoo. You know, like magazines or books, they were rare. You know.
Yeah.
We went from that to like now having way too much. You know, in what 15, 20 years.
Yeah, like, a short amount of time.
Sure.
And now you can share books on that iPad.
Yeah, click internet, boom.
I
you want reference, you got too many of them.
I can't even look at them all.
Yeah.
You know, there's pros and cons.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say if it's good or bad.
No.
That subject, because it's good but bad on the other side. Usually I like to, I like it or no, it's bullshit. It's black or white, fuck it. You know? But here, it's good, bad, I don't know.
I think it's good if you use it well.
Yeah, that's like everything.
Yeah, with anything. But if it takes you for a ride
and you lose yourself into it,
then it's not a good thing. But it's all up to you to do that shit.
For the work, like you kind of have to.
Yeah.
But I thought I wouldn't be affected by like too much and like being overwhelmed with it. And it's not easy to not give a shit.
Yeah. I fought it. I didn't have like a MySpace. I was one of the last people to have a Facebook. And then one of my friends was like, oh, you know, I actually sell some artwork on Facebook. You should give it a shot. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll give that a shot. And then from there, it was kind of downhill.
I was late to go for it as well. Except, Facebook, MySpace, all that. Instagram, I was not too late because, fuck, I have to do something. You know? And I didn't want a website, or I couldn't make one, or it was too hard, or like, I'm like, okay. Like, everybody seems to go on Instagram. Fine. That would be my base, you know, and that's more or less the only thing I do.
Yeah. Now I try to just, when I go on it, it's just very specific. I give myself like a 15-minute timer, and then that's
You put an alarm on the phone.
Like,
stop.
It has it on there.
Yeah.
But I think it's great.
Fair enough.
Because I find myself much more present in the moment, getting more shit done. So it's better to do that.
If I feel my thumb going up more than 15 times, I'm starting to be like, whoa, what the fuck am I doing? Like, come on, you know? I just stop and do something else.
Come back.
Yeah, even if I do nothing, but I can feel nearly obsessed or claustrophobic, staring at that screen and up. Oh, fuck, what's wrong?
Yeah.
There's an inner safety security, I guess. Oh yeah, the beer is empty, man.
The beer's empty.
The podcast is finished.
Okay. We got nothing left to talk about. The beer's
all right, well, I'll go home then. Fuck that shit. Wrap it up.
But I just want to say it's been a pleasure having you on here, and it's definitely a pleasure working with you.
Yes, sweet.
I wish you didn't go away every couple weeks, but
you were even more happy when I come back.
You stay up until that level where you get annoying, and then you leave, and then I'm like,
that's why. Yeah. I thought it was good for me to work half time, but I thought it was good for the shop as well. After 6 weeks, it's like, oh fuck that French fucker, man. He's gone at least for 6 weeks. We'll be fine, you know.
Yeah. You don't give us a chance to get tired of you.
Yeah,
I appreciate.
Maybe
that.
It's better like that. I know I'm unbearable.
So tell me where we can find you on Instagram. We talked a little bit about that.
Yeah, but TheoTattoo.
Theo.
THEO.
Okay.
Tattoo. Yeah. And Royal website. Or if you want to meet me physically speaking, come to Helsingør.
Better in person.
Yeah, always. In flesh.
Great. And then we can find you on this podcast.
Yes.
Exciting news. But thanks. I always wanted to have you on this because I know you're an interesting guy, and I love the travels that you have had. It's good perspective.
Yeah, cool. I was glad to be on.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, since you said you would do a podcast, I'm like, oh, fuck, I'll have to go on it.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you.
Sweet. Au revoir. Et voilà.